Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Adam Hein. I'll be your shirtless chef today. Let me just put my board away. Just got back from surfing. It's one of the things I love to do. It's a good time. I'm an assistant director here in Los Angeles. I do a lot of film production. Not like this, but I do love to cook. I'm going to make for you a quinoa risotto, which technically quinoa can't be a risotto because you use risotto rice for risotto, but stop getting ahead of me and I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. So I will make quinoa risotto with quinoa, okay? I'm going to start with an onion here, and I'm going to cut my onion. I want to kind of mince it. An onion is perfect for mincing because I just like cutting things. It's something fun and manly, and I don't get to stab people on a battlefield, so I cut onions instead. I'm going to cut it at an angle on the sides, so you can see this. Once you slice it down the side lengthwise, I'm going to cut it, if you can see, down the side here. Now I'll do one to show you. When that comes apart, it comes in these great little cubes. It's great for kissing afterwards, great for making out, great for interviews. You'll always get the job if you have a lot of onion on your breath. Great. So that onion is done. I'm going to start cooking over here with my dish because I want that to slowly cook while I finish prepping the rest of my items. So I can turn my burner on here, but before I do, I'm going to get some extra virgin olive oil. Lovely for every dish. So I'm going to plug that in my wok here. Now I've also already prepped the quinoa because I don't want to waste your time. But quinoa is an easy dish to cook. It cooks like rice. It has these little grains on it that pop out once it's cooked. You do 2 parts water per 1 part quinoa. It's high in protein, and it is actually a seed, not a grain. So for all you paleo fools out there, it's perfect. Alright, turning that on high. My next step, I like to do the tomatoes next because you want to get like a broth down there. You want to get a tomato base, which is basically, essentially what we're doing first, we're making a tomato sauce. Let me toss these onions in here first. Whoop. Let those cook a little bit. So I get grape tomatoes, or cherry tomatoes, and you cut them down the middle. So you want to expose the inside so you have about, that when you cook it down, this outer membrane will stay on it, it'll get soft. I already prepped this, so I do about that much. So I do like a whole big bowl. You can get little ones at the store. I like leftovers. Leftovers are awesome because when you work that much, you don't really have time to cook. I'm going to stir my onions up. There we go. Woo! I'm really emotional right now. Just, cooking just makes me emotional and brings me back to my childhood. Actually, it's just the onions. Not emotional. So, I'm actually going to add some mushrooms in this. So I get out my handy-dandy egg schmooper. That's a technical word, actually. So I use psychedelic mushrooms in my risotto. I'd like to get all my friends really high. This fun tool is actually used for eggs and used for mincing them. But I like to use it for my mushrooms because look at that. Oh, so beautiful. Anyway, I don't want to do too many mushrooms because, who can handle that many mushrooms?
So beautiful.
The mushrooms take a little while to cook too. You want them to cook down with the tomatoes, but the tomatoes cook rather quick. So the onions are ready for the tomatoes and other things to be added. They're a little sweaty, a little bit wet, moist. Don't we love that word, ladies? Moist, moist, moist. Alright, throw my tomatoes in here. I like to use a big wok because, like I said, I always make a lot of food. So I'm going to mix this up a bit. If you can do that without losing anything, you're a pro. Oh, I lost one. Not a pro. So I'm going to cover that back up again. Let that simmer there for a little bit. And I'm going to eat a mushroom. I'm going to throw my mushrooms on top so you can get a little steamy. And this time, I like to add a little salt, maybe a little pepper, because I want to soak in there. So while that part of the dish cooks down, I want it to turn into a nice sauce. When those tomatoes really start soaking in, that's when you add the parsley. But right now I'm going to prep the rest of this dish while I'm waiting for that to simmer. I'm going to chop my parsley real nice and fine because I want it to go a long way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You like that, don't you, dirty little parsley? Cook you and I'm gonna eat you. Part of this dish I like to do, I don't know what's in my fridge. I kind of like leave it for a few days and then come back to it. I think I have some stuff in my freezer, but I like to add some protein in there. Let's go take a little perusal, shall we? Come take a journey into Adam's freezer. Yeah. What do we got? Oh, perfect! Almost like I planned it. I have a seafood blend from TJ's. Frozen seafood, it's great on the go. You can leave it in there for months at a time, except for the expiration date. But that's perfect. I'll just, don't look in there, that's disgusting. Once that is all cooked down, put some seafood in there. Everyone like seafood? Out there? No? Go screw yourselves, that's what we're having anyway. You want to cook? You can cook! It's my kitchen! I'm gonna grate some cheese. So I'm gonna use some Asiago cheese, which I like to put on top. And actually, that reminds me, I didn't save any parsley for some garnish, which I like to do. I like to make it pretty. This is looking our fine bundle of parsley. Ooh, there's a lovely piece. There's a lovely piece. Yeah, yeah. Mmm. Oh, don't you like that? Yeah, you grate that cheese. Oh, dirty cheese. Stinky, dirty cheese. You're not rolling, are you? Yes, you respectable schoolgirl cheese. I won't touch you ever. It's also a really good workout, too. If you notice, I'm using the traps and the biceps muscle here, the gallant muscle, triceps back here, the quifa in the shoulder. Also working that. You know, you could also buy this pre-grated, which probably would have been a lot easier. Which I recommend doing. Perfect. Look at that. There's just enough cheese to top our dishes. Let's check on our tomatoes. Yeah. Come take a look at this. Come here. Don't be shy. See how pretty that is? The skin is warping and breaking away from the center. I wouldn't recommend doing that whole little pizzazzle fun flip-de-doo shit, because you're gonna totally mess up your kitchen at this point. Now's a good time. I'm gonna start adding my seafood because it's frozen, so it needs a little bit of time to cook down. Chi-ai! Chi-ai! Ha! So I'm gonna mix those guys in there. It's gonna cool down the dish quite a bit, but it'll heat back up again and cook some fun stuff. So I'm gonna wait to add the parsley. The parsley has a lot of flavor in it, but it also cooks down a lot faster than everything else. So you don't wanna make it wilt too fast. You wanna save it a little more towards the end. Just like my favorite ingredient, the garlic. A lot of people add garlic at the beginning of their dish. I like to use a little bit less, but it is way more potent and powerful if you use it towards the end of your dish. Cook it towards like middle to the end, and you will definitely be smelling your friends that you are having your dinner party with. You know, all those like card games you're playing, like, ha! I win, ha! It's great for garlic. Magical trick to garlic, I don't know if you know this. Take a knife, take the flat end, not this end, that would really kind of suck for your day. Put it on top, you want it facing down. That's the fun part. That's manly right there. Whack it, get all your aggression out. All that pain and suffering you go through in your day, all the things you want to do to your boss, just take it out on garlic and the world will be so much better. Smack! How dare you talk to me like that? You're a bitch! The whole skin comes right off. Smells so good. I'm gonna forget the rest of this dish and just crush garlic the rest of the night. I'm gonna mince it up. So I'm going to take that. How beautiful is that? Like that? Throw that in my dish, because now's about a good time. And mix it up. You can't have this. You have to clean up the rest. So I'm about ready now to do the parsley. It's cooked down enough. If I see you eat the cheese, I'll be very upset with you. Are you just not going to listen to me? Okay, fine. You can have cheese. Doesn't even want the cheese. It's okay. Asiago is, you know, it's an acquired taste. So I'm gonna take my parsley, I'm gonna dump it in there, let it sit, stir it around. Woo! You want that? You don't want that. It's almost about time to add the quinoa and be done with this whole mess. And normally I'd add the quinoa into that, but I like the proportions. I'm going to throw that on top of the quinoa and stir it around. A little salt, a little pepper, and at this point in the game, I'm going to add a little more olive oil just for flavor. Put a little cheese on it. Now, there's seafood in this, and some Italian folklore says you shouldn't put cheese and seafood together, but F that, it's tasty. You put the cheese on top. I'm gonna put my garnish on here for ya. Here's that. Put it on this one. Here we go. One for you. One for me. Quinoa risotto. Enjoy.